The city of Lystra was quiet, ordinary, unremarkable. No synagogues, no long history of prophets, just a pagan town filled with carved gods and whispered myths. And in that unlikely place, God chose to move. Near the city gate sat a man whose life had never known motion, lame from birth. His legs had never carried him. He had never stood, never walked, never run. Day after day, he watched life pass him by, imprisoned in a body that refused to obey his will. Then Paul came. Not with fanfare, not with silver trumpets, just a message. The gospel of Jesus Christ, spoken plainly, boldly, without apology. As Paul preached, his eyes fixed on the man, he saw something others missed. Faith, real faith. Faith that believed God could do what years of weakness had denied. Paul raised his voice and spoke words that split the air. "Stand upright on your feet." And suddenly the impossible happened. The man leapt, not stood, not slowly rose. He leapt. Muscles he had never used obeyed instantly. Bones aligned. Strength surged. The crowd gasped as a lifetime of helplessness collapsed in a moment of divine power. The city erupted, but instead of worshiping God, the people panicked. Their old stories came rushing back, legends of gods visiting men in human form. They shouted in their own language, "The gods have come down to us in the likeness of men." They called Barnabas Zeus, Paul Hermes, because he was the chief speaker. Priests rushed in with bulls and garlands, preparing sacrifices. Worship was rising, but it was pointed in the wrong direction. Paul and Barnabas were horrified. They tore their clothes and ran into the crowd, shouting above the chaos, "Men, why are you doing these things? We are men of like nature with you." They didn't soak in the praise. They didn't enjoy the moment. They didn't claim the glory. They pointed upward, always upward. They preached again, but this time not miracles. Truth, that God made heaven and earth, that he had been patient with nations, that rain, crops, and joy came from his hand alone. Even then, it was hard to restrain the people. The crowd that had lifted them toward heaven was restless, unstable, undecided. And then, everything changed. From nearby cities came men with poison on their tongues. Jews from Antioch and Iconium arrived, stirring doubt, twisting the narrative, turning wonder into rage. The same crowd that wanted to worship Paul now wanted him dead. They dragged him outside the city. Stones flew, each one a declaration of rejection. Each blow meant to silence the gospel forever. The crowd watched until Paul lay still, broken, bloody, motionless. They believed he was dead, and they walked away. But God was not finished. As the disciples gathered around his body, something stirred. Paul opened his eyes. Breath returned. Strength rose where death had claimed victory moments earlier. He stood up. And here is the miracle most people miss. Paul didn't flee. He didn't curse the city. He didn't retreat in fear. He walked back into Lystra, back into the place of pain, back into the city of stones, back into danger. The next day, he left with Barnabas for Derbe, preaching again, strengthening believers, teaching them words that could only come from someone who had stared death in the face. Through many tribulations, we must enter the kingdom of God. Lystra teaches us something holy and hard. The same crowd can cheer you today and crush you tomorrow. Miracles don't guarantee loyalty. Truth doesn't always earn applause, but obedience is never wasted. God healed the lame. God humbled the proud. God preserved his servant. And the gospel moved forward, not because it was celebrated, but because it was faithful. Sometimes God lifts you up before crowds. Sometimes he lets the stones fall, but always he remains sovereign. Lord, give me courage to speak truth even when praise turns to persecution. Teach me to refuse glory that belongs to you alone. And when the stones come, help me rise again, not in my strength, but in yours.